As rescue crews continue their search for the missing, scrutiny is mounting over the failures of Texas emergency communications from local and state authorities. It's becoming tragically clear that the deadly flooding that struck on Independence Day may have been preventable. Donald Trump now faces growing scrutiny over the decisions made by his administration leading up to the catastrophe, which claimed almost 80 lives and devastated summer camps and rural communities. In Kerr County, warnings were shared via Facebook during the early hours of the morning, posts unlikely to have reached those most at risk. A county official said that installing an emergency alert system had previously been dismissed as too costly. At a press briefing on Sunday morning, Kerrville City Manager Dalton Rice deflected a pointed question about why flood warnings had not been communicated to riverfront camps or why evacuations hadn't occurred.
That is a great question, but again, we want to make sure that we continue to focus. We still have 11 missing children that we want to get reunited with our families. Until we can get reunited with our families, we are not going to stop. We are not going to stop until we do. So, thank you.
Just a quick follow-up question, sir. Was any emergency alert given out on the 4th that morning of? Did anyone get any alert?
There are families who deserve better than that.
Republican Governor Greg Abbott was also questioned about the absence of sirens in the area. He acknowledged that it's something that will be looked at.
Anybody who's seen any images whatsoever in the Kerr County area, there's debris all over the place that makes roads impassable, that makes reconstruction projects unachievable, that makes search process more difficult. And the state and local governments are working now on that debris removal process. That process is improved because of President Trump's swift declaration of our major disaster declaration. He ensured in less than 24 hours that major disaster declaration was approved, ensuring that state and local governments are going to have more resources to be able to respond to that disaster, more resources to begin the debris removal, more resources to help individuals who've been impacted by this, as well as local governments that have been impacted by this. Bottom line is this, and that is the swift and very robust action by President Trump is an extraordinary help to our response. I also want to thank Homeland Security Secretary Kristi, Noem, with whom I spent the day yesterday in Kerr County.
While warnings from the National Weather Service and local government were posted online urging residents to seek higher ground, those messages were unlikely to reach campers at Camp Mystic, which prohibits the use of electronic devices. According to state authorities, nearly 80 people have been confirmed dead as a result of the flooding. Kerr County Sheriff Larry Lether reported that 68 of those deaths occurred within the county, 40 adults and 28 children. Governor Abbott added that another 10 fatalities were confirmed in other regions of the state. At least 78 people have now been confirmed across Texas. Lether said an additional 18 adults and 10 children remain unidentified in Kerr County. Camp Mystic still has 10 missing campers, along with one counselor unaccounted for. Experts have pointed to a combination of federal budget reductions and local funding refusals as contributing factors to the scope of the disaster. Notably, staffing cuts at the National Weather Service and National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, driven by Donald Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, known as DOGE, crippled the nation's ability to anticipate and respond to the storm in real time. Meanwhile, local authorities had declined to invest in improved flood warning infrastructure. Meteorologists and storm trackers had long warned of the consequences of slashing resources at federal weather agencies. DOGE, which operates without congressional oversight, cut more than 600 jobs from the NWS, roughly 12% of its workforce, and froze hiring, leaving critical positions vacant nationwide. In Texas, entire teams of seasoned forecasters accepted buyouts, with no replacements in sight. Houston's NWS office is now staffed by only 10 meteorologists, down from 16. There is just one electronics technician where 4 once worked. The office in San Angelo, near the center of Friday's storm, lacks a senior hydrologist, a staff forecaster, and a chief meteorologist. In San Antonio's office responsible for additional flood-stricken areas, it is also severely understaffed, including roles essential for issuing timely emergency alerts. Did you know that your personal data is actively being sold online by data brokers right now? Anyone with a credit card, even scammers, can buy your home address, phone number, and even the names of your family members. It's not just creepy, it's dangerous. If you've ever spoken out politically or have a public-facing job, your data can make you a target for harassment or worse. Identity theft, phishing scams, even stalking, it all starts with your information being too easy to find. That's why I use Delete Me. They're the best in the business at getting your personal info removed from data broker websites and keeping it off. Delete Me is the sponsor of today's video, and I'm proud to partner with them. On my dashboard right now, I can see they've removed my info from 47 data broker sites, including over 300 pieces of personal data, stuff I didn't even know was out there. Your personal safety and privacy are worth protecting. Head to joindeleteme.com/5minutenews and use promo code 5minutenews for 20% off. You can even protect your entire family with a family plan, because when they buy your data, they can see your relatives too. That's joindeleteme.com/5minutenews, promo code 5minutenews. Local media raised concerns even before the tragedy struck. In April, Houston's NBC affiliate KPRC aired a segment titled "What's Going On at the National Weather Service office in Houston?" Chief Meteorologist Anthony Yanez warned that overworked staff were being pushed to the brink, raising the risk of delayed or missed warnings during extreme weather events. The fear became reality on Friday morning when 1.8 trillion gallons of rain fell in the hill country, causing the Guadalupe River to surge 26 feet in 45 minutes. The first formal warnings from the NWS didn't come until after midnight, long after most people, including children at sleepaway camps, had gone to bed. The initial advisory, issued at 3:35 p.m. the previous day, predicted isolated heavy rainfall but downplayed the threat. A flood warning wasn't issued until nearly 1:30 a.m., and a full emergency alert did not go out until 5:23 a.m., by which time the damage was well underway. Meanwhile, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem defended the administration's response, acknowledging the public's anger, but insisting the unpredictability of weather events makes precise forecasting difficult. During her visit to the region, she vowed to relay local concerns to Washington and promised to fix the systems that failed those communities. Noem also echoed White House messaging that efforts are underway to modernize outdated weather infrastructure, arguing that reforms initiated under Trump were aimed at upgrading the country's forecasting systems. Underlying many of the cuts is the Trump regime's belief that private firms can outperform government agencies in delivering weather service. On Saturday, AccuWeather, one of the largest private meteorological companies in the U.S., with ties to the Republican Party, touted its own alerts, claiming it warned of the storm's severity roughly 30 minutes before federal agencies. The company suggested that earlier evacuations could have taken place if officials had relied on their forecasts. However, they provided no independent data to support the claim. A spokesperson for the National Weather Service responded by expressing sorrow over the lives lost and reaffirming the agency's commitment to public safety. "We are heartbroken by this tragedy and remain dedicated to our mission of serving the American people through accurate forecasts and timely decision support." With the Trump regime's blanket denial of climate change and associated extreme weather events, combined with the defunding of forecasting services and personnel, the likelihood of future fatalities is high as the planet warms and dangerous weather events will inevitably be more prevalent. I'm Anthony Davis. You can find me on the 5 Minute News YouTube channel and podcast, on Wednesdays co-hosting Uncovered, and on Sunday on The Weekend Show with Midas Touch.